second. He sent me a number, okay?
Okay.
Hang on, guys. I'm gonna mute myself. Don't worry, we're gonna be great. It's gonna be fine. I'm not panicking. Don't panic. Okay? Okay.
אני עכשיו מתחילה.
Okay, he's here. Okay, he's recorded. Mickey, are you here?
Yes, I'm
okay, here. Mickey, and that needs to share her screen.
Okay, just a minute.
כן, כן. תודה.
Okay, so I'm going to introduce Inad, Dr. Adas Sheliuber, and Dr. Inad Abramovich. They will be presenting evaluating students' self-regulation learning through writing diaries and friendly criticism. My name is Karen Aney, and I am your chair. I couldn't do the background, so here it is. It's a combination of virtual and real. And Nat and Adas, you're going to have 10 minutes and then 3 minutes for questions.
Who needs to share?
Okay.
Raise your hand so I can.
What?
Nat.
Who?
Yeah.
Nat and.
Who wants to share the screen?
Me.
Okay, just a minute.
Okay, because I don't see the hand raised.
Okay, but I think I'll start because we don't have a time. So, everyone hear me?
Mickey, is it ready?
Yes, you can share, Anat.
Okay, Karen?
Yes.
Okay. So everyone see me?
Yes, we can see.
Okay, but
hear me?
Yeah, put it on present mode. Yeah, good, great. Go ahead.
Okay, so just a second. I will start. So we are going to deal with today with evaluating preschool teacher, writing reflection, diary, and friendly critique. Those are two methods that we decided to check how the student deal with self-regulation learning. And this session and this study is part of an international program, ASSET, Assessment Tools for Higher Education. It's founded by Erasmus. In our case, we deal with two of the tools that we develop over there, reflective diary and group-friendly criticism. As I said, we influence on pre-service teachers and self-regulation learning skills. We checked SRL, self-regulation learning, deal with four components like cognitive, metacognitive, motivation, and behavioral. Self-regulation learning is a dynamic circular process in which students set goals, plan, monitor, and evaluate their work regarding all those four components. Reflective diary methods. In our study, we discussed, just a second, we took pre-service students that discussed their uneasiness regarding school-related situation by inside discourse through a personal reflective diary, and they did it all along the course. And the lecturer worked with them among the course. And friendly critique methods. It's in our study, we took pre-students that discuss their uneasiness regarding certain school-related situation and various ways to solve or reduce it. This discourse was conducted via small groups 3 times during the course period, And frantic methods, it's like constructed discourse, and it based on Johari Windows theory. Also, the lecture talk with the students and work with them among the course. The purpose of this study was to examine the influence of both approaches on participant SRL skills regarding, again, their cognitive, metacognitive, motivation, and behavioral components. We decided that will be the best to mix methods. Study involved both quantitative and qualitative tools. The tools was asset questionnaire, and it was composed on 9 open-ended questions, and 4 or 5 of them open, and but our quantitative was referred to the 9 open-ended questions and divided them into SR components. And of course, the student holistic summation by the reflection in both courses, 3 courses. I want to show you some questions that refer to the each one of the components. When we want to relate the cognitive, this assessment tool supported details and timely feedback that helped me to improve my performance. Metacognitive, this assessment tool enabled me to recognize my strengths and weaknesses in the learning process. Motivation, this assessment tool increases my motivation by to become an active learning. And behavioral, this assessment tool enhance my engagement with the learning process. We have 3 groups. 25 undergraduation students that used reflective diary, 25 undergraduation that used friendly critique methods, and 24 academic training that use friendly criticism. And we had a nice results. And so the data analyst,
3 minutes. 3 minutes.
Okay, Anat, start with the data analysis. Start to talk.
Anat, you're on mute. Anat, you're on mute. You have to unmute.
Okay, hear me?
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay,
yes.
so I'll skip the data analysis. We did average. We did some things, but here we want to present the average of all questions for each group. And we want, for the quantitative, from the holistic summation, we took statements from the holistic summation, and we divided into the components with categories and quotations that matches the each category. I'll show you. Okay, we'll start with the. Here you see the average of each group. I want to state that each group, we dealt with them differently, separately, but we because of the similarity between groups, just let me skip here, the similarity of their background, the similarity of the tool we use, we also compared a little between them. So we see here all groups' average score was high, 298, it's quite high. The reflected diary group scored the highest score, and the academic training group scored the lowest score. If we take the statements that fit the categories, the components, we see that all groups, the highest score was for the behavioral, but we also see that other components beside the behavioral were spread differently in each group. And again, we see the academic training group scores were the lowest in all components. Here, I won't bother you, but here we took categories from the statements of the holistic summation. For example, the categories, they talked about the will to improve or acquire knowledge, or for metacognitive insights about difficulties. They talked about, they wrote about, implications concerning class students, expectation. Okay, so I'm going. Here's examples if you want. Furthermore, we had our email, so we can send you. Here are an example of the quotations. And what is nice is to see that out of the statements, we had some mixed, not just one component, but mixed component. For example, I'll quote here. I also learned how to motivate my school students. It is when I bring my own beliefs and enthusiasm into my teaching and lead them towards success and empowerment. And here we can see motivational and behavioral components together, which was very nice. To summarize, we can say that both tools we examined empower participants, all participants in all groups. The academic training students scored less. We assume it was because lack of time and opportunities to practice SRL components during class lessons, comparing to the undergraduates.
Okay, I'm gonna have to, 30 seconds, please wrap up, and then we'll have time for questions.
Okay, the behavioral component was the highest in all groups. Further analysis is required to reveal different types of behavior, whether it's the real behavior that we are looking for. And it seems that almost every student mentioned in his or her holistic summation at least 3 or 4 components of SRL. And there seems to be a match between assessed 9 open-ended questionnaire and SRL components. In the future, we intend to add to this questionnaire more questions concerning SRL components and to be more specific or reliable, to get more reliable results.
Okay, thank you, Annette. I'm sorry. Thank you.
No, okay, it's okay. Thank you for listening.
Does anybody have any questions? We still have a minute for questions. Does anyone have any questions for Adas and Annette?
Okay.
Okay.
I have one question.
Okay, Wanda.
Did the students complain about anything? In other words, was it something that they didn't like?
No, they like it very much.
They started with difficulties, difficulties. They stated that they had big difficulties in both tools at the beginning, but after a year or after the end of the semester, they said it was wonderful, and they gained a lot. This is we didn't.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Annette and Adas. Thank you very much. Our next speaker. Thank you very much. Our next speaker is Dr. Rachel Eichler and her colleague Orit Striegler. Help me, Orit, if I pronounce it wrong. Your name
Striegler.
wrong? Striegler. Okay, Striegler. Thank you, Orit. And I understand that Rachel will be presenting, and the topic of your presentation is reflective writing methods and assessment for lifelong learning. So, you may begin to share your screen.
Okay, it says that it's disabled. If they could just allow me. It says host is disabled.
Mickey, I need you. You're on mute, Mickey.
I'm the one who.
Please.
Rachel Eichler. And following Rachel, it's Dr. Tamal Shiuvlili.
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay.
Rachel, go. Yeah, okay. Great.
We're good? Great.
Yes, we're good.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. My name is Rachel Eichler, and I'm a practicing optometrist and a lecturer at Hadassah Academic College with my colleague Orit Strigler-Cohen, and we teach at the optometric department in Jerusalem. The title is Using Reflective Writing to Enhance Optometric Students' Professional Growth and Lifelong Learning. I just want to say that reflective writing has become very, very popular with medical schools, nursing schools, any paramedical studies, definitely teacher education. And in general, I know it's a very specific topic to be an optometrist, but you could certainly apply it to many different disciplines. Okay, so this is Gibbs' reflective cycle. It's a six phases. Professor Graham Gibbs published Learning by Doing in 1988, which is a real excellent kind of map of a reflective cycle that it can apply really to any experience that we have in our life. But it's particularly good as well for clinicians, which is, who I teach and what I am. So let's just go through the cycle quickly. First, you have to describe what happened to you, your feelings about what you were thinking and feeling during this event. You can evaluate what was good and bad about the experience. You can analyze what kind of sense and meaning you can make from the experience. After the experience.
Rachel,
yes.
Are you on the slide, the circle of based on Gibbs' reflective cycle?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Okay, we're up to here.
Okay, no, because somebody said that they can't see the slide change, but I can. Okay, keep going.
Okay. The conclusion after the experience has ended, what else could you have done? An action plan, if it arose again, what would you do? So just to apply it to let's say, visiting a doctor, you would certainly like to visit a doctor who has a very good reflective cycle and would be strong with the action plan, with the conclusion and action plan, not to treat another patient with different circumstances and outcome without really thinking about what they're doing. We obviously would like to visit doctors that have a real sense of reflection and could conclude what they find and how to change their action if they had to. So as an educator, for future optometrists, we were thinking, how can we have our students develop this reflective cycle and then become actually the clinicians that we would want to visit. So this is a bit of an optometric study at Hadassah Academic College, just to give you this, sorry for the Hebrew, but this is the first year. We have a lot of, the blue is the frontal lectures, and as you see, they kind of decrease till you get to the fourth year. We have clinics, that's in red. So those, we have a lot in the second year that have to go on to then do, these are the laboratories and these are the clinics, the green. So we begin in the first year with a bit and then continue till the fourth year, where we have a lot of clinics. So we would really like to begin, and we're going to talk in this in what we did, basically about what we did in the first year and our clinics within the first year. So our purpose of our study is really to introduce reflective writing early on to the first year students after their initial clinical experience. 4 times a year, they go to this external pediatric screening. They go to schools and they screen children. And then we wanted to measure the students' perception of this reflective writing and its professional influence. So again, as I said, our methods, we began with our first year students that have 4 clinical screenings a year. And here's a nice picture. They learn beforehand, obviously, all the clinical procedures that they have to do. And then they go out to the different kindergartens and they do tests, and anyone that fails the test is then referred to a full comprehensive eye exam. So after they went to the screening, each time after the 4 times throughout the year, we had them have a reflective writing in Moodle after each screening. So let's talk a bit about this. First, we decided, myself and Orit, on some kind of rules that they needed to kind of follow for this writing, to give them some guidance. We told them it should be done the same day. It should be written and uploaded to Moodle on the same day as the external clinic, basically because that's when the experience is very fresh in their mind, and to really write about it right after it happens is something of value. In addition, we thought, okay, if we really want them connecting with what they're writing to, they should certainly be able to write it in their mother tongue. We needed to give them about how long it should be, about a page, but obviously a little shorter, a little longer, that was fine. And we wanted it to be written, if they could, something more creative, as a story, as a personal narrative, just something that really reflects on the experience of the clinic that they had that day. In addition—
Rachel, 3 minutes.
Yes. I'm sorry?
3 minutes.
Okay. We reflective writing. We wanted structured versus non-structured. We sort of came to something in the middle, based really on the Gibbs reflective cycle, the day, time, and place. That would be the description. How did you feel the morning of the clinic? How did you prepare for it? That would be the feeling. What went well? What were you surprised? That would be our their evaluation. This is our all different analysis kind of question. How was the communication, impressions? Then we went on to conclusion. What did you learn? And in the end, obviously the action plan. What would you repeat for next time? What would you improve? So then they did that, uploaded it to Moodle, and we had a questionnaire. We had 39 students finish both the reflection and the questionnaire. They were predominantly female, 84% female, and we had Arabic, Hebrew, and then French. We had a questionnaire based on Farah Mohammed's reflective writing questionnaire. It was 16 questions on the Likert scale. Just to let you know the results of the questionnaire, all of the, here's the cutoff. So everything was above, just it was a worthwhile exercise. The students support reflection, motivation for future learning. They better understood their learning. They applied their learning, critical thinking. So all things that would really help them be a better clinician and have lifelong learning.
1 minute.
We had some qualitative, yes, I'm almost at the end here. We had some qualitative results. Again, I won't go into them, but they certainly reflected Gibbs cycle, really how they felt, how they wanted to change how they did things, etc. It was really wonderful to read their impressions. And here's the conclusions of this, was that there is definitely a positive student perception and attitude above the mean towards reflective writing. We weren't sure. I mean, they came to study optometry, not writing, but they seemed to have a positive attitude towards it. And included evaluation, analysis, and action for future clinics, which is obviously something very important as a clinician. Reflective writing helped the students think through the clinical interaction that they experienced. And lastly, more reflection and awareness obviously encourages lifelong learning, so that then when they will become independent practitioners, we'll all want to visit them. Okay, thank you for your attention.
Thank you. I'd like to ask if there are any questions. And Mickey, please look at the chat box, because there's a problem with Dana's, she's stuck on the screen. So please, I've been writing you privately. Please check out the chat. Thank you. Are there any questions? Are there any questions for Orit and Rachel? Okay, then. So moving.
I wanted to ask something. Hi, sorry. Hi, Rachel. I wanted to ask you, you said you did it throughout 4 years, right? So every year they filled it in?
No, it was the first year they had 4 clinics. So we did it after every clinic. And then during the clinics, we also have, when they have to like write in their Medi-Track, they have to write as well. There's reflective questions there that they should answer. So to keep up their reflective ability.
Did you find that there was a change, like from the first questionnaire to the fourth one? Did you see a difference, like that they went through some sort of process of, more enjoying the writing, or writing more, or writing less, maybe?
It became a little, on the one hand, a little more involved for certain students. On other ones, that it was as if repetitive for them. So we really have to think about if to do it 4 times or not.
Maybe change the questions from each one and not do exactly the same questions. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much for questions. Great session. Thank you. Great presentation. Thank you. And now we have Dr. Tamal. Please excuse me. I've been practicing.
Yes, I'm here, Marcin Giashvili, and Mr. Omar is here also.
Okay, so Tamal and Omar are here from the Sukhumi State University in Tbilisi, Georgia.
Yes, Georgia, Sukhumi State University. And let me share my screen, your screen.
Mickey, Mickey, do you have access to my? Okay, great.
Yes, we see.
Yes, our presentation is peer assessment and reflective diary tools for developing students' critical thinking. Critical thinking is an essential component of the cognitive process. One of the contributing factors to the development of critical thinking is the use of formative assessment tool in teaching, including peer assessment and group reflective diaries that promote general transferable things, including strengthening writing skills, developing creative thinking, communication skills, and teamwork collaborative skills. The use of these tools started at Sukhumi State University from the 2019-2020 academic year in the framework of the Erasmus co-funded project ASSET. Piloting of peer assessment and group reflective diaries is being carried out at several BA, MA, and doctoral levels at several faculties of Sukhumi State University, giving students the opportunity to participate not only in the structure of learning, but also in evaluating and developing critical thinking. The purpose of our research is to show how the use of formative assessment tools, peer assessment, and group reflective diaries develop students' critical thinking, how they value their knowledge and skills, and plan approaches and monitor their own progress. Methodology. The paper uses quantitative and qualitative research results. The work is based on the peer review materials on the target groups, notes made by students in the reflective diaries, as on development on mental, emotional, and behavioral skills. Also on development of academic, professional, personal, group skills. On the analyzing the results of questionnaires, of peer assessment, and group reflective diaries filled by the students. The study uses the following instruments: student reflection diary, interview, and questionnaire. The target groups are students of 60 credit teacher training educational program, it's BA level, and students of international relations bachelor's program. The electronic reflective diary was created to improve metacognitive skills of the students of the Faculty of Education Sciences. There is a crucial need to develop such skills, their skills. These students will enter the schools as senior teachers very soon, and they need during the short period of time acquire the metacognitive skills necessary for the teachers, which is greatly facilitated by the reflective diary. The electronic reflective diary created according to the reader developed in the framework of Erasmus plus ASSET project. 32 students out of 48 students participated in piloting of this tool. 2 lessons per week were delivered, and they have made reflection of 8 lectures from 15 ones. The students were divided into 4 groups. depending on the subject specificity, used problem-based learning. Based on the explained materials at the lectures, the students were given some problematic issues, or the students themselves identified the problem around a particular topic. Then they discussed the problem in their group. They were looking for ways to solve the problem or to avoid them. I, of course, was monitoring the activities, provided advice, and gave them the right direction. The ways to solve the problem were formulated. Eventually, they had to figure out ways to solve the problem. So almost every other week, they wrote reflections from past material in the electronic group reflection diary. Each group wrote a reflection based on the questions developed within the project. All questions are based on exploring a learning experience and following dimensions: awareness, evaluation, and regulation. After 15 lectures, each of them individually made the reflection of the whole subject. They journaled about their learning experience, reflected on them, and then shared their findings during the lessons with their peers and me. Furthermore, we complemented self-reflection with compulsory peer evaluation, where they observed peers' learning practice and provided feedback. From week to week, their reflection skills improved. In the beginning, the questions were accompanied by short explanations. The questions changed according to what is relevant in the particular lesson. Here is the table of questions used in the reflective diary. It is not shown very well in this slide. Here questions, and according to questions, they wrote their opinions. Here, students' perceptions of reflective diary. I have conducted they filled questionnaires, and according to the survey, it's shown that reflecting them, yellow, strongly agree item. Reflecting journal writing helped me to talk about my experiences. About 60% of students express their opinions. 62% say that reflecting journal writing helped me to express my ideas and opinions. 64% reflecting journal writing stimulated my critical thinking skills. 44% reflective journal writing offered me a chance to develop and reinforce my writing skills. 58% of students frequent journal writing increased my creativity. 6% of students say that reflective journal writing is a waste of time, and 54%, I find it easy to write in my journal. 65%, this was a worthwhile experience. I have also conducted interviews with students, and here is the questions which I used during these interviews. For example, what is your opinion on the values of reflection writing and why? Does reflection journal promote critical thinking and how? And here 10 questions about this issue. The positive side of using this instrument, reflection is a method of learning from experience to prepare students to be reflective practitioners. Students receive their learning experience in relation to the academic, professional, and personal development. Reflective diary is a useful tool for improving both student and teacher performance. And personal and continuing professional development helps do this. And what was the obstacle? Main obstacle was obstacle to piloting a reflective diary was the fact that those who did not reflect at a lesson immediately or shortly after it usually forgot detail or did not reflect at all. And in my opinion, there is no need to make reflection once every 2 weeks. 3 times a semester will be enough. This diagram shows
Tamar, 2 minutes.
Yes. This diagram is shown the results I have in the students of international relations. 25 students filled the questionnaires, and majority of them about peer assessment, they agree that peer assessment contributed to a more open and supportive learning environment in the class. And majority of them, 81%, agree that peer assessment promoted interactive and collaborative learning in the class. Here's also about what elaborated what is the benefit of peer assessment, and the majority of them think that peer assessment allowed them to develop creative thinking, to develop writing skills. Yes, the diagram shows that develop also collaborative skill and so on. And the results of the research for the majority of students participating in piloting this instrument using reflective diary has allowed them to develop essential and crucial skills such as critical and creative thinking. Step by step, they improve metacognitive and self-regulation skills. From the interview results, it can be concluded that use of reflection papers in the classroom has many benefits, also, the results of the study led one to conclude that reflection is one of the most useful tools that can be used to enhance learning and promote critical thinking skills in students. I have shown here that some expressions of my students.
30 seconds.
Yes, and they say, majority of them say that without the diary itself, peer assessment, I would not think this thoroughly about how I learn, and by deepening critical thinking, I think I will be better prepared for professional work. I have learned the importance of mutual help and sharing knowledge in learning. As examples, the expressions about their opinions about this instrument, and opinion how they strengthen their writing skills and critical thinking. Thank you for your attention. I have shortened my presentations. The last slides I cannot express.
Okay, so I want to save time for questions for you. So thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
Does anyone have any questions? Okay, so thank you to our speakers for this session. Then I suggest that you stay online, and Mickey, perhaps you can help with the tech problem that was happening here. Can you stay on, Mickey?
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah. Stay as long as needed.
Okay, so there was a problem with the screen of one of our participants. I'm not sure she's still here. Yeah,
Yeah, I wrote her in the chat. Yeah.
Okay. So thank you very much, everybody. Have a wonderful day. This has been a very challenging and exciting experience, and I appreciate all of your support in attending the session.